Okay, we're on number 6 now, and you can see the problem is right up on the screen. On number 6 it says find the equation for the graph. So again, I'm going to use that form y equals mx plus b. So the first thing I want to look for is where does it cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses the y-axis at -1. We could see here that the line crosses at -1. So I remember that now, and I'm going to put that in for b, that b will be -1. The next thing is I need to figure out the slope. Well, the line is going downhill. In other words, when we read the line from left to right, it's going downhill, so it's going to be a negative slope. The rise over the run, I choose points, like that point where it's -1. That's one point that I know I could count from. So then I choose another point on the line. Let's say over here, the line is at -3y. So, and that happens to be -1 for x. So I could count up and count 1, 2, 3, 4, and over 1. So then my rise would be 4, and my run would be -1. And so that gives me a slope of -4. And so then the equation in the end would be y equals -4, that's our slope x, minus 1, which is our slope intercept. Okay, so remember, if you see the line going downhill, it's a negative slope. Now for number 7. On number 7 we have a table. We're given a table, and it's asking you to look at the table and sort of follow the pattern. So on the table it says when x is 1, y is -3. When x is 2, y is -6. When x is 3, y is -9. So you see a pattern there where every time you go up 1 with x, you're going down 3 with y. So that basically is a way of figuring out the slope. If I go up 1 with x, so my run is 1, my rise is going to be -3. So every time I go up or over 1, I'm going down 3. So my rise is -3, my run is 1. -3 over 1 is -3. So that would give me a slope of -3. So you're going to look for something where you're going to see -3x. Okay? Now the next thing you want to look to see which equation is going to satisfy that. Well, again, let's look to see which equation. If I use two of these numbers, two sets of numbers, like let's say the first set of numbers, 1 and -3. Look at the first equation. It says y plus 3x equals 0. So if x is 1, okay, 3 times 1 is 3, plus -3 is going to be 0. So that works. Now how about the next line? If x is 2, 2 times 3 is 6, minus 6 is 0. So that first equation is your answer. You could test it by using at least 2 data points on your table. Number 8. On number 8, you're given 2 points on a line. So again, let's go back to our graph. It's giving you 2 points on a line. The first point, it says x is 5 and y is 1. So I plotted that point on the graph. The next one says if x is 15, which would be off the graph here, and y is 10. So we'll make our line a little longer. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So if x is 15 and y is 10, that would be up here. So now it wants us to figure out what the slope is of that line. Okay? Now we could count up. We could count to go from this point here, which is 5, 1, to 15, 10. So let's count. Well, and we could draw the line here too so that you can see it. Is that a positive slope? Yes, it's going uphill. Let's count how many points it is to go up on the line. So our next point is at 10. We're starting at 1 for y. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 steps going up. So our rise is 9. Now our run, we're going to be going from 5 to 15. So how many steps are we going over? That's going to be 10 steps from 5 to 15. So then our slope would be 9 over 10. Now, another way of looking at this, and I will put this equation up on the board for the exam, and it will be up on the board for your test tonight too. Okay, when you take the chapter test, I'll make sure that the equation is written up on the board. The equation for the slope is m, the slope, equals one of the points for y minus the other point. So the change in y over the change in x. So like that first point, x was 5, y was 0. So then we would put 5 here and 0 there. And then the second point, x was 10, or x was 15 rather, and y was 10. So then we would have 10 minus 1 over 15 minus 5. 10 minus 1 is 9, 15 minus 5 is 10. Okay, and that's shown in the notes. Number 9. Moving along with number 9, we have if a line falls through 2 points. Again, it's going to use this slope equation, and it gives you the 2 points. So if we use the slope equation that I just wrote on the board, the slope equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now in this case here, the first point they're saying is 20, 7. So 20 is x, 7 is y. So where y2 is, I'll put a 7 minus y1y over 20 minus, then the second point for x are saying 8, y. So they want us to figure out what y is, what that second point is. So it's going to be 20 minus 8. And they tell you that the slope is 7/4. So they'll tell you right here that the slope is 7 over 4. So I got 7 minus something over 20 minus 8. So let's solve this. 7 over 4 equals 7 minus y over, what's 20 minus 8? That's 12. Now we have 2 fractions here. We could use our cross products. Okay? In other words, we have 2 equivalent fractions. So I could use the cross product. 7 times 12 is going to be 84. And then 4 times 7y, 7 minus y. 4 times 7 minus y. Now I need to distribute the 4. 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times negative y is negative 4y equals 84. Subtract 28 from each side. 84 minus 28 is 56. Okay? And the 28's cancel out, so I get minus 4y equals 56. Now I divide by minus 4 on each side. 56 divided by 4 is going to give me an answer of 14. So 56 divided by negative 4 is going to be negative 14. So y equals negative 14.